From the biggest of fans hating his portrayal of Batman, to the star claiming that he just understood his character after The Flash. Here's why Ben Affleck ruined Batman. I mean, even the fans didn't like his portrayal of the iconic superhero. Now, there were already people doubting him when it was first announced that Affleck would play the character. Many were even wondering why he was given the part. Turns out, Ben was at the top of his game, riding high on the success of not one, but two incredible movies. His film Argo swooped in and snagged the Best Picture victory. And it launched Affleck into the A-list category, and suddenly everyone wanted a piece of him. But then, dun, he put on that iconic Batman suit. Now, don't get me wrong, playing the caped crusader is a dream come true for many actors. But for Affleck, it might have been a case of flying a bit too close to the sun. It didn't help that the character's debut appearance on the big screen was in Snyder's Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now, let's be real here. Batman v Superman was a bit of a snooze fest. It failed to meet expectations and couldn't quite match up against Captain America, Civil War. And as if that wasn't enough, it also raked in $207 million less than Nolan's last Batman film. Now, how much of the blame for that goes to Ben and how much of it should go to Snyder isn't for me to decide. But what's clear is that audiences clearly didn't resonate with this new portrayal of the character, and things only took a turn for the worse when Justice League came out. This film was dealt a bad hand from the get-go. Director Zack Snyder had to step away from its production because of a devastating family tragedy. In came Joss Whedon to save the day, or so fans thought. His involvement led to a whole chain of events that'd be debated for years to come. Though the general sentiment among fans is that the guy somehow made Ben's already easy-to-hate Batman even worse. Whedon's cut of Justice League is filled with pointless jokes and gags that only make Batman appear like some sort of comic relief. The brooding and mysterious person that he's supposed to be is all but gone, and in place, you've got someone that barely looks like he resembles the iconic character. It didn't help that Affleck didn't look like he was giving his all to the role. While there's little you can do to turn around a script as disastrous as Justice League's, I feel a star who really understood his character would have at least tried to make some changes. It's not like he didn't have some good examples of live-action Batman to take inspiration from. After all, Nolan's Batman trilogy was a masterpiece. But nope, Affleck just showed up for the paycheck and made all the unfunny jokes that Whedon added to the script. Though there's a reason why Affleck's portrayal was so terrible at the time, it's because the star was going through a serious alcohol addiction. Of course, dealing with addiction is no walk in the park. But here's the thing. Affleck had all the resources at his disposal to get better, yet he kept falling back into those addictive tendencies, causing headaches not only for his co-workers, but also for the entire franchise. Think about it, maybe DC wanted to do more with Batman, exploring more angles for the character, or generally having him be more involved in the universe. But how could they do that when the actor portraying him is constantly nursing a hangover? For a while, it looked like maybe he was seeking help and getting better. In fact, in 2018, he even completed rehab. To share his accomplishment, Affleck took to Instagram to celebrate his commitment to overcoming his lifelong battle with alcohol addiction. As you'd expect, fans poured in their support and love, and it looked like maybe the future of Batman in the DC universe was going to be good after all. But yeah, that didn't happen. Turns out, just 2 days later, the paparazzi captured him in a video where he was once again seen drinking. And let's not forget, he didn't just look tipsy, he was flat out drunk. For some fans, it felt like he wasn't just disregarding his own well-being, but also the future of the entire DCU franchise. I mean, let's face it, this isn't exactly the image you want for someone who plays the iconic role of Batman. It's no wonder his solo Batman movie never came to be, despite the negative reception Batman v Superman got. DC wanted to give the star a chance in a film that was going to be all about him. The news even came directly from the then CEO and chairman of Warner Brothers, Kevin Tsujihara, so you know it was official. Affleck was initially set to co-write, direct, and star in it. But as luck would have it, he stepped away from the director's chair in 2017, and that's when Matt Reeves swooped in to take over. Reeves scrapped the existing script and started fresh, which makes me think that it was probably a complete mess. And rumors of a new Batman had already started swirling at the time. And then, after seeing how abysmal Justice League was, I think fans were convinced that losing out on Ben wasn't as big of a blow as they'd initially thought. And so, the bombshell dropped in 2019, when it was announced that Affleck was dead. But hey, Robert Pattinson was announced as the new Batman, with him appearing in a different DC timeline altogether. Ben basically stepped down from the role except for an appearance that he recently made in The Flash. Though even after all these years, fans have thought about what his solo movie was like. I mean, I can't imagine it would have been all that great, but you can't help but wonder, right? Well, thanks to Joe Manganiello, we kind of have a rough idea of it. It was going to involve Deathstroke as a major villain, and let me tell you, he was like a shark or a horror movie villain, slowly turning Bruce Wayne's life inside out. Manganiello, the actor who was set to portray the character, said that in this scrapped storyline, Deathstroke had a bone to pick with Batman, and it was a deeply personal grudge. Turns out Deathstroke lost his son and placed the blame on Batman's shoulders. And so he hatched up a plan to make Batman suffer, slowly killing everyone close to Bruce and tearing his life apart. This honestly sounds a lot darker than anything we've gotten from the DCEU so far. But wait, there's more. Remember that end credit sequence in Zack Snyder's version of Justice League? Well, it was meant to tie into this dark Batman storyline. In that scene, Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, basically informs Deathstroke that Bruce Wayne is why his son died. Plus, the film was going to take us to Arkham Asylum, the infamous institution that houses all the bad guys. Now, before y'all get too excited for this script, remember, Reeves didn't like it one bit. I mean, he must have had a good reason for completely trashing it, right? Even Joe admitted that while the script did exist, it wasn't exactly well received. Plus, can you even imagine Ben trying to play the part of an emotional and tortured Batman? The guy struggled to get basic lines out properly in Justice League. This would be something that was completely out of his ballpark. It's probably why DC didn't choose to feature him all that much in The Flash either. Despite finding the time to bring back Michael Keaton's Batman and making him a major character in the movie, Affleck was present for just 5 minutes. The thing is, Ben never really understood how to play Batman properly. In fact, he admitted to it in an interview recently. The star mentioned that it was only while working on one of his scenes during The Flash did he get the feeling like he got the gist of what his portrayal of the Caped Crusader should be like. Wait, hold on a minute. Can we take a moment to laugh at the irony here? I mean, we're talking about a mere 5 minutes of screen time. What in the world could he have possibly mastered in that short span? But here's the kicker, Ben seems pretty confident about his performance even for those precious 5 minutes. He genuinely believes that he's done a fantastic job, especially when it comes to capturing the right tone. As a Batman fan, that's kind of annoying to hear. Affleck had literal movies to figure out this character. I mean, come on. He had a decade-long tenure as the Dark Knight, so it sucks that he thinks he's gotten good at the character, just as he's about to walk out the door. So from the star claiming that he just understood his character after The Flash, to the biggest of fans hating his portrayal of Batman, that's why Ben Affleck ruined Batman.